That's different for the council meetings.
Yeah.
That's different for the council meetings. We have to turn down.
What are you looking
That's it, we're good. Okay, just start your video and we're good.
I forget that we're live.
All right, I'll be downstairs.
Okay, thank you. All right. Okay, what do we got? Hello. How's everybody? Okay.
There
Oh, going well. Susan, Tiffany.
Oh,
Tiffany's ignoring me.
sorry. I was muted.
Boy, the office has certainly taken a redecorating since Nick left.
Mhm.
You know, from what I see, there's nothing Star Wars down at his new office either. So it's bizarre.
I think he's talking about look behind you.
Oh, yeah, my animals. Yeah.
So
Just you were in your office.
everybody remember that we are live on YouTube right now. So. So. Comes the chief.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, good evening, chief.
Good evening.
Bill, I thought you had a red button on your desk to have somebody bring you a Diet Coke.
Yeah,
We got to put that in the budget for next year for you.
all right. Used to have a panic button under the desk here.
Hi, Bill.
Hello, Linda, how are you?
I'm good. Gil was just laughing at me. I have my jacket on and I got up from the bar to come out here for the meeting and I have my sweatpants and slippers on. So I'm comfy.
Well, that's good. We are we are live on YouTube, everybody. So.
Oh, well. Hey, it's real life.
That's right.
Hi, Linda. Thanks for the pictures.
Oh, you're welcome, Ron. I was going through a pile. I'm still putting stuff away at the new house, believe it or not. And I saw those and it reminded me that was one of those national night outs
Yep.
that you guys always walked with us.
Yep.
The good old days. So how you
Probably
doing?
like 2012.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think Ann McLaughlin was the president that year.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's something I think we got to get back to doing.
I
I do
agree.
too. People appreciated it, and I think it just gave us all a sense of community.
Yes.
Yep.
Mhm. Well, we got slowly getting, people are coming on here, so. Oh, there goes one of our cars with the lights on, just took off out of Times Square.
Uh-oh.
Hi, Carrie.
Hi, good evening. How are you guys?
Hello,
Good, how are
Carrie.
you, Pierre? Where's your two buddies?
Right here.
I just kicked Gizmo out. He had to go with Dad.
Did you? Yes,
I know.
Snoopy's napping.
Hi, Vern.
Hello, how is it? How everyone?
Good.
Morning.
How are you doing?
Good.
Vernon, how are you?
I'm good. Keeping warm.
Norm.
Did anybody watch the signer at the Super Bowl or the national anthem?
No.
That was probably, to me, that was the best part of the game.
Yeah, he can express it.
Holy
Very
cow,
expressive.
yes. It was fantastic.
Yes, it was.
So Susan, we expect you to become a little more animated, I guess.
So, here's the thing. You guys have to be emotionally animated.
Oh, okay.
I put that out.
Okay.
I got lots of animation in me.
We can do that. We can do that.
Yeah,
Right.
we could just let it rip. I've never been accused lately of being quiet, so don't tempt me.
Hi, Shannon.
Hi, Carrie. How are ya?
Well, thank you. How are you?
Good.
We were just talking about Wawa.
Wasn't he fantastic?
I told the mayor they have to get expressive in their language in order for us to get expressive.
Right. That's right. So when more faces are boring, guess what it's saying about you? You're smart.
We'll remember that.
Okay.
How expressive is the top of Fred Sheridan's head?
That's his goal.
You should tilt that camera a little. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
How's that?
Fred
Oh,
Sheridan.
Very
Yeah.
good.
Doesn't get any better than that, does it?
Tilt it back up.
Where's my coffee?
I got my hot tea.
My ice water.
Carrie wants a hot beer.
No, not hot.
Fred, we're live on YouTube.
Oh,
Hello,
sorry.
everybody.
I'm drinking Pepsi caffeine free, so.
I don't even have a water in front of me. Apparently, I'm not prepared.
Our fire department is just responding to 100 block of South Second.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so hopefully that won't a report of a structure fire. So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah.
Let's hope it's nothing.
I know it's been so cold. A lot of people are using space heaters and
Mhm.
they're just so dangerous. Oh, I hate them. Hopefully it's nothing big.
Well, hopefully we'll, yeah. Don, can you hear us?
I can, Bill. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, yes.
Okay.
Bob Ring, can you hear us?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. Jason
Oh,
Panis,
Bob,
are
this
you
is a
there?
different view.
Yeah, I'm here, Bill.
All right, thank you. So,
Jason's the invisible man.
Is he working in the garage or the workshop again? Or is he in his vehicle?
I'm always working, Linda.
That's what it sounds like.
It's my squeaky old truck.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do.
That does sound like a fire, Mayor.
does it?
Oh,
Everybody's out.
That's good.
Good.
Just fires are so scary. Just
Oh, they are.
okay. So who are we waiting on? 1, 2.
Here's Dave.
Dave's here.
Dave's on. Oh,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I think that's it.
Wait one more minute until the official clock hits 6:30 here.
Hey, Bill, are you going to have an update for regarding the Ward 4 situation?
I can. Yeah,
You don't have to do it right now. I'm just, throwing
I
that
can
out.
do it under communication from the mayor.
Sure.
There's Lenz. He's coming on now. As we have a proclamation tonight too that we'll read at the council meeting for Black History Month.
Yes. Hello, everybody.
Lenz, how are you?
Hi, Lance.
It's Mr. Fashion.
What's up, Fred?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
There's the Jack, can you hear us?
I can.
Okay. Okay, we have.
Okay. Any reason not to get moving? We
No,
good? Okay.
we're good. Yep.
All right, very good. Okay, so I would like to call to order the Committee of the Whole for Tuesday, February 9th, 2021. Let the record show that all aldermen are present. First on our agenda is I'd like to just say a brief discussion, but more informative, informational purposes of the Recruitment, Retention, and Rebranding Task Force. So you had to kind of have an idea that this was coming, although I would say I think it's coming a bit sooner than I had originally intended. But given the gut punch that we received recently with the announcement of Siemens pulling manufacturing operations out of Olean, I guess I think it's quite fitting, and it's time to get the ball rolling on looking at who we are as Olean and what we're going to be. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here for a moment with you, and this shall just be a draft. It's a working draft of, and I'm not one to just say we answer all of our issues with creating committees and task force, but so hopefully, can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So, I wanted to just try to put something together to represent, nothing lengthy, but really what the goal and purpose of this task force would be. So I would categorize the loss of manufacturing operations at Dresser Rand as being the greatest catastrophe to hit Olean in terms of our economic growth. As far as I'm concerned, I don't know if I can recall in my history something that's been more severe or critical to the path that we've been on of revitalization. This is something that's bounced around in my head for a while. And so I'll just go ahead and skim through this. But the creation of a retention, recruitment, and rebranding task force seeks to promote economic growth within the city of Olean and to develop a collaborative and innovative board for the purposes of retaining existing citizens and businesses. I think that really should be critical. Mission number one. We need to find ways and be proactive. And listen, I'm not saying that we necessarily had the power to stop, Siemens chasing profit maximization. I get that, but for our existing businesses that are here, for our citizens, I think it's imperative that we find out how we can help ahead of time. We can maybe put things in motion ahead of time. I hear through the grapevine that some of the other employers here in the city, a couple of them may be hiring. So if they're potentially hiring 50 or 60 or 100 positions, how do we help them hire 150? How do we maximize? What length do we need to go to retain every last drop that we have? But also the recruiting of new residents and industry opportunities. I know Bill is hard at work. I've been reaching out, doing what little an alderman can do, and I know our certainly our county and state representatives. We're all eager to try to solve this problem. We've got when you do the math on it, it's potentially a massive economic loss to our city. So how do we go after new opportunities collectively? Not each in our own silo, but how do we work together and collaborate? And then also, I think it goes along with what our revitalization is rebranding our city's identity. Again, I gave you that presentation a while ago. Who are we and what are we doing? We need a mission and an identity to go along with the great things that we're doing here in Olean to communicate that to potential residents or to potential businesses. So just our commitment to pooling social and economic and educational resources to foster business growth and the expansion. I mean, that ultimately, I would think, should be our ultimate goal, the expansion of our population, our industry, and our tax base. For far too long, it's gone the opposite direction. I understand New York State. I wish Nate Smith was still here to, really insert one of his famous, this is New York State being New York State, and they chase businesses out of New York State. I'm not going to disagree with him, but it doesn't mean that we shouldn't try, that we can't try to draw a line in the sand and do what we can. So I'm looking to ask you to support the formation of a task force, the goal of rebranding our city, expanding our industrial footprint, increasing our population and encouraging economic growth. I have, for conversation's sake, all this is a discussion here tonight. We're not voting on this, but I wanted Tiffany to get this on, to get the gears to start turning. I'm thinking along the lines of 10 individuals, and those 10 individuals have already many of which have already reached out to me. But, along with obviously the mayor and Carrie, right, at community development, someone, one of our county legislators, but the Chamber of Commerce, Mimi's on board. Corey Wichter of the county IDA is on board. Someone from our business, right? A representative from Olean Business Development, or certainly from the CEO Alliance, from our educational partners. I just had a great meeting with, his name escapes me, but he's essentially in charge of creating new ventures, new business ventures, and entrepreneurial program at St. Bonaventure University. A tourism expert. It's time that we get out of our silos and start sitting at a table and planning for what Olean needs to look like, and the message we're sending out into the world for us to survive. So I guess that's my elevator pitch, and I'm open to feedback right now, or if you'd like, you could shoot me, call me, shoot me an email, or however you want to. But this will be coming up next Tuesday. So, any comments? Okay. I'll take it that you guys just want to let it digest. Okay, so next we have PL 4-21 by Mayor Alio to adopt an amended and restated bond resolution for the Washington Street Water System Capital Improvement Project. Bill.
Thanks, Jack. Excuse me. I'm going to have Bob Ring answer. We discussed this at the actually at the last meeting. We had the bonding company on and the attorney from Hudson Rush to explain everything. But Bob, if there's any more questions on us, you were provided with all the resolutions. I know they were very lengthy, but those were provided to you during the week. So Bob is on to answer any questions that anybody has.
I don't have any questions. Anyone else? Okay. Let me go back to my sheet here. All right. So I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve this PL. Could I get a second, please?
Second.
Seconded by Alderman Tanis. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, motion's carried. Referred to tonight's regular meeting. Next, we have PL 5-21 to authorize the city auditor to bond for walkable Olean Phase 3 project. Bill, any?
There again, Bob discussed this, and we discussed this at length at the last committee meeting. Everybody's been provided with the PL, the information there. So if there's any questions, Bob is on here, and Jack is on here, and to answer, and Carrie's on to answer any questions.
Okay, again, seeing nothing, I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion.
All right, motion is made by Alderman Witt. Could I get a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Alderman Robinson. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried and referred to tonight's regular meeting. Next, we have PL 6-21 by Mayor Alio to authorize the city auditor to bond for North Union Street Streetscape Capital Improvements Project. Is that just the same bill?
Yes. Yeah.
Any questions from the council?
Can we have Bob Ring mute the phone, please?
Bob, would you mind muting? Is that better, guys?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So any questions on that bond resolution? Okay, seeing nothing, would someone like to sponsor that? I'll go ahead and sponsor. Could I get a second, please?
Second.
Seconded by Alderman Witt. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion's carried, and that gets referred to tonight's regular meeting as well. What is not on the agenda is a discussion of a grant application to the New York State Environmental Facilities Corporation. Mr. Mayor?
Yes, we have Bob Ring on to explain this.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, this came down to the wire a little bit. We've been planning on applying for this grant for some time. It's an engineering planning grant. 2 years ago, we applied for the siphon study, and we got that project as part of this program. Last year, we applied for a hydraulic study of our water line system, and we didn't receive that grant. This year, our plan was to apply again for the water hydraulic study, and the consultant that we're working with, it turned out that that wasn't eligible for this program. So, we were ready to have the resolution on, and we pulled it off, and then we spoke to our consultant again about some of our needs. This grant application is geared more towards sanitary projects. So we thought we would try and tackle a inflow and infiltration study, and where we would isolate parts of our sanitary system and study them for a couple months with flow meters and basically find out where our worst areas of I&I are. Something that Brad Camp and I have wanted to do for some time. Haven't been able to justify the funding. This project is a $36,000 project. And our match would be 20%, so roughly $6,000. And we would use the sewer fund budgeted funds to pay for our match. And again, we'd work with a consultant to study, this important issue. If you remember, our last sewer overflow was, from heavy rainflow, our I&I issues. Any questions?
Okay. Does anyone have any questions on this?
John, I do.
Sure. Alderman Witt.
Thanks. Director Ring, when we did our North Union Street project, did we have any of the buildings uptown? I know when we first started talking about the project, we talked about disconnecting those downspouts. Was any of that done with the project or because I know in the past, that's where a lot of our inflow problems into our sewer system came from.
To my knowledge, and again, I wasn't involved that closely with the project, but from what I understand, that wasn't enforced or, there wasn't a storm sewer built as part of that project. So most of the businesses that have flat roofs and roof drains, they're still tied into the sanitary sewer. I think there was a huge challenge with the areas, the businesses that had basements in the sanitary being like 15 feet deep along North Union Street and converting all those businesses inside to like a 4 or 5 foot deep storm sewer. So, my knowledge, it wasn't done at the time. I've only looked into it briefly, but for every inch of water that hits those roofs, it's about 1 million gallons of water that goes into our sanitary system. And as you know, it flows straight down South Union Street towards the river. It's definitely a big contributor to I&I.
I just remember discussing that and wishing that would have gone forward, but thank you.
Sure.
Hey, Bob,
Go ahead, Jason.
So something I'd like to add is, I'm in support of applying for the funding or even submitting funding to do this. But I would not like to see it just result in like a mass disconnection effort. I think our city's old enough And to just ask people in their homes to disconnect or start running their roof drains into their yards just spreads the problem amongst something else. And I think we need a bigger plan on what to do when we find these areas, either to tie them into the storm sewer or something. I mean, is there any thought process in that, or is our current thought process just to disconnect people?
Well, we don't disconnect people. I want to say that the current code calls for disconnecting on sale of the house. So it should be done then as part of the inspection. I'm not 100% sure if it's done or not on any regular basis. I'm not really too involved in that, but you're right. It's a long-term thing. It's not something we would just tell everybody they have to disconnect. But doing the study first is going to add, a targeted approach. It's going to give us the information we need to see which areas are the worst.
No, I'm all for it. I'd like everybody to think about the ramifications and just understand that I think we should have a fair plan on what to do. I know in the past, people have been asked to disconnect or been disconnected when work goes on in their street. But I mean, a lot of this city was built without, 100 years ago, and people didn't really think about stormwater as much, right? And we don't have the relief of the systems to just disconnect it. It becomes somebody else's problem, a neighbor, or you end up with, water getting into your basement or your neighbor's basement or somebody behind you. And it causes those conflicts and problems that just get spread to someone else.
I was around during the North Union Street project, so I'd like to speak to that. A good majority actually were disconnected and were addressed. And also I do the site plan review whenever a project comes before the planning board. We actually look at that and we condition it. I mean, one off the top of my head was upcycle. When we did that one years ago, we ensured it was done properly, before the CFO was issued. So I do believe a lot have been addressed. And I've also helped with financial assistance to do this, to pay contractors under the city's downtown property improvement program in the downtown and the commercial areas.
Good.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you, Bob. Any other questions? This will be on tonight's regular meeting for resolution. So if you have any other questions? Okay. No motion is needed at this time. And that is that. So I will go ahead and make a motion to adjourn. Could I get a second, please?
Second.
Seconded by Alderman Robinson. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. We are adjourned, and we'll go ahead and jump right into our regular meeting.
Just for those of you who I don't know if everybody was on, we said the fire department responded to a fire on South 2nd Street. They did knock it down quickly, so they're cleaning up now. So everybody got out, so no one was hurt. So that's.
Wait, they knocked the fire down or the house?
What's that?
They knocked the fire down or the house?
Yeah, they knocked the fire down quickly.
Oh,
so.
Okay. Very good. Thank you, Bill.
Hold on, John. Before we move on, may I please have the sponsor for PL 4-21? I missed that one.
A 4-21.
Yeah.
That is
Crawford and Panis.
That's Crawford and Panis. Thank you, Tiffany.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. I'd like to call to order the regular meeting of the Olean Common Council for Tuesday, February 9th, 2021. Will the clerk please call the attendance roll?
Alderman Witt.
Here.
Alderman Panis.
Here.
Alderman Gonzalez.
Here.
Alderman Robinson,
Here.
Alderman Anastasia,
Here.
and Alderman Crawford.
Here, let us please bow our heads for the invocation.
Heavenly Father, we come to you this hour asking for your blessing and help as we gather together. We pray for guidance in the matters at hand and ask you to clearly show us how to conduct our work with a spirit of joy and enthusiasm. Give us the desire to find ways to excel in our work. Help us to work together and encourage each other to excel. We ask we would challenge each other to reach higher and further to the best we can be. We ask this in your name, we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, at this time, I will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice. Reading, correcting, and approval of the minutes of the previous regular meeting.
The regular meeting of the Olean Common Council was held on Tuesday, January 26, 2021 at 6:50 p.m. Present, Alderman Crawford, Alderman Witt, Alderman Panis, Alderman Gonzalez, Alderman Doughty, Alderman Robinson, and Alderman Anastasia.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the previous regular meeting. Could I get a second, please?
Second.
Seconded by Alderman Panis. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Committee reports and unfinished council business.
We have none.
Communications from the mayor.
Thank you. We have a special proclamation today for Black History Month. So Lance, would you read the proclamation, please?
Absolutely. Whereas during History Month, we celebrate the many achievements and contributions made by African Americans to our economic, cultural, spiritual, and political development. Whereas in 1915, Dr. Carter Goldwyn Woodson established the Association for the Study of Negro Life and History. In the following year, he initiated the publication of the Journal of Negro History, of the oldest learned journals in the United States. Whereas Dr. Woodson initiated Black History Week on February 12th, 1926. And for many years, the second week of February was chosen so as to coincide with the birthdays of Frederick Douglass and Abraham Lincoln. Whereas in 1976, as part of the nation bicentennial Black History Week was expanded and became Black History Month and is now celebrated throughout the nation. Whereas the city of Olean is blessed to have the African American Center for Cultural Development as a mainstay in our community for many years. The center has sponsored events and worked with our citizens to promote and integrate the rich, diverse history and culture of our region through a celebration of the talents, lives, and history of African Americans in the region. Whereas the city of Olean is proud to honor the history and contributions of African Americans in our community throughout our state and nation, and will continue to work to be an inclusive community where all citizens, past, present, and future, are respected and recognized for their contribution to our community. Therefore, I, William J. Elliott, Mayor of City of Olean, New York, on behalf of the Common Council, do hereby proclaim February 2021 as Black History Month in the City of Olean.
Thank you, Lance. The second item I have is I want to introduce for the record the resignation of Kevin Doherty as Alderman for Ward 4. So that'll be placed, his resignation letter will be placed in the record. And then an update on the Alderman in Ward 4. I took interested people. Actually, I had the deadline on Monday at 5 o'clock to anyone interested to get to me and let me know. We have 5 individuals who are interested in the position as to fill the role as Alderman in Ward 4. So I will be setting up interviews with those 5. I've asked John Crawford to be on that interviewing committee as council president. And I've asked Jason Panis to be on the committee also for this committee. We did, that's what we did last time when Ward 6 was vacated. So we'll set up the interviews. We will interview the people and we'll get back to you as soon as they get that done.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Anything else?
No, that's all for today. Thank you.
All righty. Miscellaneous communications?
We have none.
City official reports?
None.
Proposed legislation and referrals?
PL 04-21 by Mayor Elio, referred to Committee of the Whole Tuesday, February 9th, 2021 by Council President. PL 05-21 by Mayor Elio, referred to Committee of the Whole Tuesday, February 9th, 2021 by Council President. PL 06-21 by Mayor Elio, referred to Committee of the Whole Tuesday, February 9th, 2021 by Council President. PL 07-21 by Alderman Crawford, referred to Strategic Planning Committee by Council President.
Okay, before opening up for public comment, I would like to give an opportunity to any of the aldermen to make a statement at this time. Okay, seeing nothing, I would ask if the clerk would please read the public comment statement.
The public comment portion of the Common Council regular meeting is established to provide members of the community with the opportunity to publicly state their views, voice their concerns, or to provide input pertaining to any issue affecting city government. Additionally, the mayor, common council members, and city department heads encourage any person with questions to contact them at their offices.
Okay, so the process here, I will open up public comment. Please state your name and address, and you'll have up to 5 minutes. If you wish to speak, please raise your hand.
Okay, we have 5 in attendance, and as of right now, no one has raised their hand.
Okay, I will ask a second time if anyone wishes to speak.
Yep, we have one. Okay. Ty Malone is okay. He is should be coming on here.
Okay.
Good evening. Can you
Go
guys
ahead.
hear me?
Yes, we can, Mr. Malone.
Okay, good evening. First, I would like to say thank you to the mayor for that proclamation this evening for Black History Month. We in our community appreciate that. And I also would like to thank you, Mr. Crawford, for speaking about the dresser situation. I have reached out to several state officials, speaking to them. It didn't sound too promising, hearing that all hands were on deck and everybody was doing everything they could. But when I would ask what that is that they're doing, nobody could tell me anything, just to trust that all hands were on deck. So I do appreciate that you're doing everything that you can and letting us know that what you are doing. I would also like to echo, I have written down a little response that I wanted to say, but you kind of spoke to everything that I was going to ask. I was going to ask the council to think about putting a committee together to handle this situation. Also partner with Bonnas and maybe do a SWOT assessment I have read the development plan for the comprehensive development plan that was written in 2005. I see that we have, addressed kind of a SWOT analysis on it, but I would suggest that we actually do that so that we can come up with real strengths and concerns that we have. We would be able to address the marketing of Olean, like you have spoke about on several occasions. And I would just appreciate if like you guys said that, you asked the other councilmen to think about the proposal and getting that committee set forth so that we can start on this and be proactive about it, because that's what it's going to take. And I thank you guys for letting me speak this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Malone. Appreciate the comment. We've got Mr. Gayton.
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Go ahead, Daniel.
Hi. Good evening, everybody. I just want to echo a little bit of what John Crawford was saying about the closing of Siemens. Obviously devastating to the area, but sometimes in devastation can be some different ways of thinking, some different ideas that come out. I'm happy to hear that maybe you guys are thinking about putting together a task force. I just would encourage and hope that the task force is well diverse, well-rounded, and comes with a lot of different types of ideas, because over the past 10 to 15 years, as you guys can see, the way that we're doing business in Olean now isn't working. It hasn't worked for that long. It's not going to work. We're in a new environment, a different type of environment. And with that, we have to change the way in which we recruit businesses, have businesses come here, stay here, people come here and stay here. I would also encourage the city council to finally look at their expectations for city employees moving forward, that all city employees have to move into the city of Olean within the first 6 months of employment and stay here in order to maintain their employment. I know we want to be good neighbors, but it doesn't make a lot of sense for the city itself to be employing employees that turn around and spend their taxes on houses and everything else in Allegheny, Portville, Cuba, and everywhere else. That's not helping to grow the city of Olean at all. And so we need to take care of that as a city and show that we're serious about the people that work for us to live in the city and spend their money in the city, which ultimately benefits us. Any business plan without that is a business plan that's doomed to fail. So it's time for the city to address that. I think the task force is a good idea. I think working along with the diversity committee, the task force, and some of the other things that the city's got going on, I think we're moving in the right direction. I just don't think that we're with Siemens leaving. I think everybody has to ramp it up. You got good department heads and R&R up there at the police and the fire, Carrie, Bob, everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing in the way that they're supposed to be doing it to move the city forward. But we got to do better. We got to come quicker. This city government's got to move faster. Or a lot of people that are sitting here today won't be sitting here because your city will become a town and you guys won't have jobs. And we're in that type of population decline. So like you look around at all the people that you're working next to, if we continue down this road in the next 5 years, you guys do the math. Some of you guys ain't gonna be here. So do the work now so that, we can build the city, make sure everybody's here, make sure everybody has a job, make sure everybody stays, because it's population decline. Not everybody that's sitting on this Zoom call right now will be here in another 5 years if this continues. And it's not one common council or one administration. This has been going on for multiple administrations and multiple years. So, but ultimately you guys are charged to fix it. So we support you. John, good job on maybe proposing the task force. Bob, appreciate all the work you've been doing lately. I hear you, and but let's make it all not be for naught. Let's make sure all the work that we're doing is actually paying dividends in the end, because people are coming. If we don't do that, then we're going to be in a bad situation. So I would encourage every dollar that the city gives to any business, that there's a caveat in that contract where they have to either employ a certain number of the city of Olean residents, and the city of Olean needs to finally get off its hands and say our employees have to live in the city within the first 6 months of hire and moving forward from 2021 on, and make that happen, whether that's in negotiations or what. But you guys got to make that happen. It's time to stop sitting on that subject. And if we're giving money to businesses, then they owe us some employees that live in the city. One hand washes the other. A lot of other cities are doing it. It's being done in other places, and anything less than getting that in our contracts and making that an expectation is just bad negotiation. That's all I got. You guys have a great day, and thanks for all your work.
Thank you, Mr. Gayton. Anyone else? Anyone else? Last chance. Anyone else? All right, seeing no hands, I will close the public comment. On to finance and bills.
We have none.
Resolutions. At this time, I'm going to go ahead and make a motion to suspend the rules. Could I get a second, please?
I'll second.
That's a second by Alderman Anastasia. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right, motion carries. I'll make a motion to amend the agenda to include resolution 9-21. Could I get a second, please?
Second.
Second by Alderman Witt. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, opposed? Motion carries. Please continue. Clerk, Mr. Clerk.
Resolution 6-21, PL 04-21 by Alderman Crawford, seconded by Alderman Panis, on amending and restating bonds resolution dated February 9th, 2021 of the Common Council of the City of Olean, Cattaraugus County, New York, the city, amending the bond resolution that was adopted on January 9th, 2019, authorizing a water system capital improvements project at an estimated maximum cost of $1.9 million, and authorizing the issuance of the serial bond to aggregate principal amount not to exceed $1.3 million of the city, with such balance of the estimated maximum cost to be paid for by grant fund pursuant to the local finance law to finance said purpose. Said amount of bond to be offset by any additional federal, state, county, and or local fund received, and delegating the power to issue bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the sale of such bonds to city auditor.
Okay, that was a long one. All right, we discussed this. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, will the clerk please take the roll?
Alderman Witt,
Yes.
Alderman Panis,
Yes.
Alderman Gonzalez,
Yes.
Alderman Robinson,
Yes.
Alderman Anastasia,
Yes.
and Alderman Crawford.
Yes.
Motion carries 6-0. Resolution 07-21, PL 05-21, a bond resolution dated February 9th, 2021 of the Common Council of the City of Olean, Cattaraugus County, New York, the city, authorizing the capital improvement project commonly known as Walkable Olean Phase 3, consisting of various streetscape improvements in the city at an estimated cost of $2 million and authorizing the issuance of serial bonds in an aggregate principal amount not to exceed $2 million of the city pursuant to the local finance law to finance such purpose. Such amount to be offset by any federal, state, county, and or local funds received, and delegating the power to issue bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the sale of such bonds to the city auditor.
Okay. Again, we discussed this previously. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, will the clerk please take the roll?
Alderman Witt,
Yes.
Alderman Panis,
Yes.
Alderman Gonzalez, Alderman Robinson,
Yes.
Alderman Anastasia,
Yes.
and Alderman Crawford.
Yes.
Motion carries 6-0. Resolution 8-21, PL 06-21 by Alderman Crawford, seconded by Alderman Witt. A bond resolution dated February 9th, 2021 of the Common Council of the City of Olean, Cattaraugus County, New York, the city, authorizing the North Union Streetscape Capital Improvement Project at an estimated maximum cost of $920,000 and authorizing the issuance of serial bonds in aggregated principal amount not to exceed $920,000 of the city, pursuant to the local finance law to finance such purpose. Such amount to be offset by any federal, state, county, and or local funds received, and delegating the power to issue bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the sale of such bonds to the city auditor.
Okay. Again, we discussed. Any comments or questions? Seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Alderman Witt,
Yes.
Alderman Panis,
Yes.
Alderman Gonzalez,
Yes.
Alderman Robinson,
Yes.
Alderman Anastasia,
Yes.
and Alderman Crawford.
Yes.
Motion carries 6-0.
All right.
We have one more. Resolution 09-21, PL none, to authorize the mayor to submit a grant application to the New York State Environmental Facilities of Corporations for funding to aid in the initial planning of the project involving storming water and flow and infiltration into the sanitary sewer system. We will need sponsor for that.
All right. We spoke about this in committee of the whole. Any comments and questions? And could I get a sponsor?
I'll
A
sponsor.
sponsor.
All right. We've got a motion by Alderman Robinson and then Alderman Witt.
Yep.
Any comments, questions? Seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Alderman Witt,
Yes.
Alderman Panis,
Yes.
Alderman Gonzalez,
Yes.
Alderman Robinson,
Yes.
Alderman Anastasia,
Yes.
and Alderman Crawford.
Yes.
Motion carries 6-0.
Okay. Anything further before we depart?
Mayor and John, I will get an email off after we adjourn this meeting and advising Jeff Smith and Mary Chapel and John Alessi that those 3 resolutions have been approved and they'll be on their way to make things happen with those 3 bans.
All right. Thanks, Fred. Anything else? Okay. Everyone have a good week. I'll make a motion to adjourn. Could I get a second, please?
Second.
Second by Alderman Witt. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.
Good night,
Good night,
everyone.
everybody.
Good night, everybody. Peace out.